Golly. That bass is hitting hard. I'm up here like, man, I'm gonna go to the bathroom now. No, I'm joking. So we're talking about friends tonight. We're keeping it going. Last week, Colby started a new series called Real Friends. And so we're gonna keep it going. And because I wasn't here last week, I was really bummed and I want to experience this. So I'm just gonna say something and I wanna see what you guys do. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. I mean, it was kind of the reaction I thought. No, in all seriousness, I want to do this again. I want to do this again because I need to prove a theory. I have been talking with people about this, and I believe that I am right and they are wrong, so I just want to be very clear. So I'm going to say this. We're all going to do this at the same time. So no one told you life was going to be this way. Who did 5? You're wrong. No, who did? Seriously, guys, I'm going to pray for you. If you did 5, Father God, forgive them. No, I'm joking. So everybody pull out your phone. Everybody pull out your phone. Because we're continuing our Real Friends, you know, every now and then, don't we like to be shouted out on like our social media platforms, on the internets and all that stuff? So here's what I want you guys to do. I want y'all to go to Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, I don't know what to say. Go to Instagram, and I want you guys to take a picture of you and your best friend if they're here, or post a picture of you and your best friends or friends. I want you guys to take a picture of your best friend or your best friends and post it right now, and I want you to tag the PTSM, and I want you to tag your friend, and then just give them a real quick shout about how much you love them. Real fast. You guys can do this, because you guys do this during my messages anyway. So, I mean, what? No. All right, real fast. I like it. I like it. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Tag, post you and your best friend or you and your best friends, and tag, thanks. Tag the PTSM and tag your friend. Cool? All right, when you guys are done, look up from your phones. All right, sweet, like one person. See, this is a rookie mistake, Bailey. You like never tell them to get out their phones because then you lose them for like the rest of the night, so it's all right. Didn't Bailey do a great job like 3 weeks ago? He's so good, I loved it. I want him to preach every week. You wanna do that? No? Cool, all right. You know, for some of us, or for most of us, I'd probably say that our friends are some of the most important people in our lives, right? Who here would say that your friends are some of the most important people in your life? And who would say that of your friends, your best friends are like some of the really most important people of your lives? Yeah, I would say. So last week, Colby talked about in order for us to be a real friend, that we should be friends that we would want to have. That makes a lot of sense. Because if you just walked around being a jerk all the time and you expected to have friends, you probably wouldn't deserve it, right? So if you were walking around being a jerk the whole time, like in life, you just stop, please. We want you to have friends. So I wanted to say, in light of showing people, or talking about friends, I wanted to show you guys some of my friends, some of my best friends. And so, throw up the first picture. These are the people that stood up next to me at my wedding. Well, kind of. So the other person, these are like 3 of the most important people of my life. So on the left, the old dude, his name's Carl, and he's not old, but he's kind of old. He just is balding. And Carl has been my mentor. He is an incredibly huge father figure in my life, and I love him significantly. And then you have in the blue shirt, that's Keenan. Keenan's been my best friend since high school. And then on my left, well, looking at the picture to the right, that's Jesse. And he was my best man at my wedding. Keenan was going to be, but I want you guys just to notice that he's not wearing a tux, and I'll talk about that in a second. Go to the next slide. So this is This is a picture of my sister in the middle at her wedding and my mom on the right. And then on the left is my dear friend, Anna. Anna is she's like a sister to me. And so I wanted to show this because, guys, you can have friends who are close to you that even if you're a guy that are girls, and girls, you can have guy friends that you're close to. But here's the deal. I want you guys to understand something. That is a relationship and a friendship that has happened over years, and she's become really close friends with my wife as well. And so just not for now, but that's just something you have to navigate in the future. All right, let's go back. So if you remember, Keenan wasn't wearing a tux. Before you throw up the picture, so Keenan wasn't wearing a tux because at that time, he lived in Costa Rica. And I was getting married in Houston. Costa Rica is a long way from Houston. And so I asked him to be my best man at my wedding, and he told me no. And I was really mad. I just wanted to punch him in the face. And I was like, but I'm getting married. And he's like, but I live in Costa Rica. And I'm like, but I don't really care. You figure it out. And so he told me he was not coming to my wedding. So this is a picture of us on our prom night. We didn't go together. We went with dates, but that was a picture of us. That was during like the era when you wore black shirts with your tuxes and the clothes were really baggy. There was no skinny jeans or anything. And so on the Friday before my wedding, so this is rehearsal dinner night, I'm having a day at the lake at my in-laws' house, or soon-to-be in-laws' house, and I'm walking, and they call us in, and next thing I know, Keenan walks around the corner. Go ahead and show the next picture. And I was completely stunned. I was completely stunned that he showed up to be with me. And go ahead and show the next. Like, these are the actual pictures. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was so beside myself. Because our best friends are so important to us, right? Our best friends we would do so much for. And as you get older, your friendships, they change. He is still one of my best friends, but my friendships have changed. He's single, I'm married. And so Amy and I, we have couples who are some of our best friends now. And so I want to go ahead and show the last picture. Starting from the left, that's Katie and Ryan. Katie and Ryan are two of our best friends from Kentucky. And then on my right, you have Emily and Jay. They have been like brothers and sisters to us, and like they are amazing, amazing people. And that would be some of our inner circle. And we all here, we have an inner circle. We all have best friends that we're incredibly connected to, and they're very important to us. And what those relationships signify is so much more than just guys that you do things with or girls that you hang out with. These people, they may be, right now for you, they may be relationships that are solid and great, and you're like, I wish I had 50 of Susie or Johnny or whatever. And you're like, I love these people, they're amazing, they help me be a better person and all these things. Maybe you and your relationships with your closest friends in your inner circle, maybe things are rocky right now. Maybe things are difficult and they're not where you want them to be. Maybe your inner circle actually are people who are leading you down a path that you know that you shouldn't take. I can't define for you what your inner circle looks like, but I want us to define and talk about what our inner circle is. So when I say our inner circle, here's what I'm saying, 3 things. First thing is your 2 or 3 best friends. These are the friends that you do everything with. You text them every single day and you like wake each other up like, hey, I'm gonna text you when I wake up. And I'm like, this is so weird because guys don't do that, girls. And then like they're the people that you FaceTime all the time, or they're the people that you ride in the car with and you turn the radio up and you sing at the top of your lungs. And you're not ashamed. You know what I'm talking about? Guys, don't act like you don't do it. I know you do. Because, exactly. Don't sing now. Please don't. These are the people that you laugh and cry together with. These are the people that you open up to. You share your deepest, darkest feelings. You share your fears. You share your hurts. You share because you know that you can trust them, and you know that these people, they're your boys, they're your girls, like they're the people that you do life with. And so there are 2 or 3 most important. Maybe for you it's 3 or 4. I don't know. But I want us to have that mindset. The second thing is these are your most righteous friends. And here's the thing. I know that everybody here is not walking in a relationship with God. And I just want to be very transparent. I'm glad that you're here, but I want you guys to have a relationship that is godly. I want you guys to have friendships that are going to be encouraging you to grow in your spiritual life. If not, then I shouldn't be a pastor. But when we think about this, when I say your most righteous friends, I don't mean that you just sit and have Bible studies together and you sing Kumbaya and you're like, hold hands and let's pray. That's not what I'm saying. Because, your righteous friends, you can still do crazy things together. Keenan and Anna, two of my best friends, Keenan and Anna, on the night before my wedding, they wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning and they say, give me your car keys. And I don't think, I just give them. I'm like, literally 2 hours later, or around 6 or 7, I wake up and I'm like, hold up, what did I just do? Did I really give them my car keys? And in that moment, I was like, what is happening to my car right now? But you know what they did? They took it and they drove in Houston. They drove 40 minutes down the road because they couldn't find a car wash that was open at 4 o'clock, and they went and washed my car. And they got it ready for me for my wedding day the next day. And I'm like, these are what best friends do. And they, even though it's kind of crazy at 4 o'clock in the morning and I didn't know what's gonna happen, but that's what they did. And maybe your friendships, maybe they're not necessarily honoring to God. Maybe your friends, because you're not sitting here saying, I want to have friendships and I want to have a life that's honoring to God. And what I want us to say is, you know what, if somebody brought you here tonight, if a friend invited you to come to high school nights tonight, that is maybe the type of friend that you should hold on to. Maybe that's the type of friend you should hold on to. Because your inner circle is also going to help practice, and they should practice the values that you hold most important. If it's incredibly important to you to be honest and open and transparent, and yet you have friendships that are shallow, and you're not pointing each other to honesty, and you're lying to each other, maybe those are the type of people that shouldn't be in your inner circle. Maybe your friendships are too nice to you and they won't call you out when you need to be called out. But you know what? Real friends who are in your inner circle are going to call you out when you need to be called out. I've had friends who've done that to me over and over and over, and it does not feel good, but you know what? It's necessary because they care about me in a way that is so much more important than the present. Because the third thing, the friends who lead you in your inner circle, these friends will lead you towards making the best decision for your future. Think about it. These friends are gonna help you make the best decision for your future. How many of you guys only live in today? What I mean is live in the present. How many of you guys only live in the present? Probably nobody. How many of you guys think about the future all the time? Exactly. We think about the future all the time. That's part of being in high school. That's part of realizing that your life is so much more than what you're presently walking through. And so with your friendships, you do the same thing. You go and you make memories together. You go and you're like, I want to take these pictures because I want to be able to look back and I want to be able to see, man, that was awesome, right? That was so much fun. When you're riding in the car and you make those videos together, you're like, that was a memory worth making. You make plans together, so maybe you go on trips together, maybe you take family vacations with their family or whatever. You go and you do these things because those friendships are meaningful and they're thinking about the future. But also, they won't let you settle because they see the best in you. These friends that help you think about the future and what's best for your future are going to push you not to settle. They're going to encourage you no matter what, but they're going to help keep you on the right path. But friendships that aren't like this, it can look like this. They can selfishly want to only get out of their friendship rather than give. So they want to be takers in a friendship as opposed to givers. Maybe friendships that are not what we want and what we desire to look like. Maybe they push you to do things that are against your true values. And all of us are susceptible to this. This can happen to any of us. The Bible says it like this in 1 Corinthians 13. If we're not careful, we can all find ourselves in these type of friendships. Don't be fooled. It says in 1 Corinthians 15:33, don't be fooled by those who say such things, for bad company corrupts good character. You can be sitting here saying, I don't make bad choices, I do good things all the time, but you can still find yourself in situations where you're like, how did I get there? Proverbs 12:26 says, the righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. You see, when it comes to our inner circle, we aren't just innocent bystanders, we're participators. We have an active role in this. And if we want to have great friendships that help us experience God's best future possible, then we should choose our friends carefully. Sounds like, duh, right? Well, of course, we should do this. But if we're honest, Maybe we have some friendships that we're looking at and we're like, I don't know if this is the type of relationship or the type of friendship that I really need to be having. Are your best friends harmful or are they helpful? Are your greatest friendships manipulative or are they meaningful? Is your inner circle reckless or is it responsible? We should ask ourselves these questions because real friends have real influence in our lives. They have real influence. Maybe you don't think so, but they really do. Let's go back to Proverbs 12:26. It says, the righteous choose their friends carefully, but the way of the wicked leads them astray. When Solomon says wicked, he's basically saying they make poor decisions. And they're not necessarily bad people, but they're misguided. They're short-sighted. And if you want a future that you can be proud of with the fewest amount of regrets, you're going to need people around you who see more than you are the way you are right now. And what I mean by that is we need to frame our questionings or frame our relationships in a way that says, is this person good for me right now? Is this person a friend who is good for me right now? Is he a good influence? Is she a good influence on me right now? Now, here's what I want you guys to understand. Because a lot of us, we think in black and white. Even though we like to think, we think in the gray. We think in black and white, like, so if this person's good, don't talk to him. Or talk to him. If this person's bad, don't talk to him. Yeah, do the opposite, right? If this person's good, don't talk to them. No, if this person's good, talk to him. If this person's bad, don't talk to him. We think in that way. And I'm not saying break all the ties of people who don't have a relationship with God or don't make good decisions, but we just need to be mindful of those relationships. We need to be mindful of what type of influence these have. And Paul gave us a very clear picture of how we can do this, because we can have a good inner circle or we can have a godly inner circle. We can have a good inner circle or we can have a godly inner circle. And so the question is, what do you want? And that's something that as we talk about this, and we look at this, let's look at the difference. This is what a godly inner circle looks like. In Ephesians chapter 4, the Apostle Paul, he says this. Therefore, I, a prisoner for serving the Lord, beg you to lead a life worthy of your calling, for you have been called by God. That's verse 1. And then he sets up and goes here. Verse 2, always be humble and gentle. Be patient with each other, making allowance for each other's faults because of your love. Make every effort to keep yourselves united in the Spirit, binding yourselves together with peace. There's a lot of real churchy language in there, right? Maybe you're sitting here saying, like, Garrett, I don't understand that. Always be humble, be gentle, be patient. Make allowance for each other's faults because of your love. And he says, be united in spirit. Here's the deal. You can have meaningful, you can have fun, you can have hilarious, you can have these great relationships and dedicated friendships that aren't led by this truth. This is not saying that only godly relationships are great relationships. But what they're saying is, ultimately, if that's not the case, if they're not led by this truth, they will not be the inner circle that God has intended, because a godly inner circle is bonded by an incredible truth that he talks about in verses 4 through 6. And this is what bonds us together. This is the unity that he's talking about. Verse 4, for there is one body, there's one Spirit, just as you have been called to one glorious hope for the future. There's one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all, in all, living through all. God gives us people to live alongside so we can be unified in knowing him better. I wish I could stand up here right now and tell you that your best friends right now are going to be your best friends in 20 years. I wish I could stand up here and tell you that your friendships now will look the same in 5 years. I wish I could stand up here right now and tell you that your best friendships right now will look the same way in 1 year. But I think we've all experienced that doesn't necessarily happen. And we know that even though our inner circles, they feel real tight right now, the truth is there is an enemy who desires significantly to divide, to destroy, and to do anything he can to distract you from knowing God better. And that means your friendships, your inner circle is not off limits to him. So here's what we can do. We need to guard our inner circles. We need to guard them. If we have godly relationships that are helping us to grow in our relationship with Christ, or if we see people that are here who are helping us trying to know Jesus, we need to guard those. And there are 3 things that we need to guard them. And it's a really cheesy acronym, and it's okay. You can make fun of me, and it's okay. But we need to guard our inner circle from bitterness. I have a crack in my iPhone, and I'm really mad because I have a screen protector on it. And I have like this OtterBox case and Snapchat or something, I don't know. But I have a crack in my screen, in the screen protector right here, and right here. But then there is a crack right on the inside of my phone that somehow I dropped it in, and it made me so mad because it started so small. But what happens with small cracks on your iPhone? What happens? They get bigger, they expand. That's what happens with bitterness. You have one moment of a disagreement, one moment where you're having a little spat with your friend, one moment where you're like, man, I just blah, 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 she did, blah, 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 blah. You know, like you have these one little moments that go from anger